Welcome to The Briefing, your weekly debrief of top news by the Arizona Republic and azcentral.com. I'm Rafael Carranza. Here are the top 3 things that you need to know this week. Early voting for the primary election scheduled for July 30th will begin on Wednesday. Election officials will mail out hundreds of thousands of ballots to voters signed up for early voting. Early ballots must be mailed back by 7 p.m. on July 30th. Starting on Wednesday, voters can also cast their ballots in person at designated sites. Check with your county recorder for a list of early voting locations. Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays issued an opinion last week saying that doctors can perform, quote, in good faith, emergency abortions past the 15-week period currently allowed under state law. The opinion aims to clarify confusion over the issue. An 1864 law banning all abortions was set to take effect after the Arizona Supreme Court upheld that law, but the legislature repealed it, leaving the 15-week ban in place. Interim Police Chief Michael Sullivan will continue as the city's top cop for another year. The City Council voted last week to extend his contract for an additional year. This will be the second one-year extension. Sullivan took over for former Chief Jerry Williams in 2022, a year after the Department of Justice began investigating Phoenix police. Their report released last month found constitutional violations in Phoenix PD's policing practices. Thousands of Arizonans have become naturalized U.S. citizens over the course of the past few years, and even more are still eligible to do so, but that time window may be running out and may be forced to sit on the sidelines when the November elections come up. Joining me now to discuss some of these voting outreach efforts is Jessica Chavarria, Communications Manager, and Vanessa Perez, the Civic Engagement Director for Mi Familia Vota, a nonpartisan group that helps with voter turnout and voter engagement efforts. Jessica, can you tell us a bit more about how much of an effort Mi Familia Vota will be involved in 2024, given that it's such a crucial election year in a battleground state?
Of course, let me start by saying Mi Familia Vota, Mi Familia en Acción is a nonprofit organization, like you mentioned, investing in the powerful voice of our Latino community. We want to shape a world, a future for our community to feel safe, healthy, and for them to be thriving. We promote social and economic justice through our citizenship fairs, voter registration, and voter participation. This year in particular, we have a minimum goal of registering 20,000 voters here in the state of Arizona. Our Get Out to Vote efforts include 500,000 door knocks, 1 million text messages, and 170,000 phone calls.
Thank you, Jessica. And Vanessa, there's more than 160,000 Arizonans with green cards or permanent residency that have been eligible to become naturalized citizens. What has Mi Familia Vota been done, or to target this particular group, who have meet other requirements otherwise to become citizens?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have thousands of eligible residents here with us in Arizona, and we want our government to be reflective, right, of the people here. So we set a goal last year to help a minimum of 280 people become citizens by the 2024 elections. And you might be asking, like, why 280 people? We picked that specific number because in the midterm elections 2022, Attorney General Chris Mays, her margin of victory was by 280 votes. So we know that every single vote matters, and we want to help our community that's been here for decades. A lot of the people that we've supported have been here and have mentioned it's been 2-3 decades, and sometimes they're a little fearful, but we're here to support with the process.
Since the 2020 election, there have been approximately 60,000 Arizonans with permanent residency who have become naturalized. Again, that's far larger than any of the margins in victory in many of the races that were decided. Mi Familia Vota is part of a larger coalition of groups throughout the state that are, trying to boost some of these efforts. Why is it important, to really hone in and get some of these votes out to the polls, given some of those close margins?
We want to make sure they have a voice. We want to make sure that they are part of the changes that they've always been wanting to see in their communities. If they want better schools, better parks, whatever it's going to be best for them and their families, we're here to help them through, if it's register to vote, like I mentioned, help them with the citizenship fair. We just want them to go out and vote and be a voice and be part of those changes that they always wanted to see in their communities.
Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us.
Find our Arizona voter guide with information about the upcoming primary and general elections at azcentral.com.
The Arizona Republic. Here for it. Are you?
For this week's Sunspot, we are showing you some of the free events to celebrate the 4th of July coming up this week.
Many cities around Arizona will host celebrations marking the 4th of July on Thursday. Phoenix will host their fabulous 4th at Steele Indian School Park from 6 to 10 p.m. Glendale is hosting their Fireworks Fest at the Westgate Entertainment District. Fireworks begin there at 9 p.m. And across town in Mesa, their Arizona Celebration of Freedom will take place at the Convention Center. Fireworks begin at 9:30. Head to AZ Central for a full list of 4th of July celebrations around the Phoenix metro area and throughout Arizona.
Thank you for joining us on The Briefing, your weekly debrief of top news by the Arizona Republic and AZ Central. Have a great week.